these are my top 10 players of the international break. Before we even start, I would like to apologize in advance for if your guy doesn't make it, because there were so many players to choose from. As you know, I obviously focus on Europe, Africa and South America. So, you know, big up Jamaica, packing in Trinidad. Congrats to you guys. Big up Suriname even being top of their group. Whatever's going on in Asia as well, big respect. Irankunda for the Australia friendly v New Zealand, big respect. But we're going to focus on, I guess, the 3 continents that I've discussed earlier. But again, feel free to educate me, right? I only have 2 eyes, so I cannot watch every single match in the whole universe. So feel free to chuck names in the comments. We can even give a shout out and a big respect to the Bolivia police, who they were deflating footballs and then hiding them in the stadium so they could time waste against Brazil. And then when Brazil were attacking, they'll bring the balls and start launching them on the field to waste even more time. So yeah, fair play to everyone. But let's get into our actual top 10, because in 10th, we have a man who, we're going to call him Unc Still Got It, Kevin De Bruyne of Belgium, of course. Back-to-back 6-0 wins v Kazakhstan and Liechtenstein. That is why he's, you know, down this low, because let's be frank, that kind of level of opponent, big respect to everyone, but we have to be a little bit serious here. Again, look, he's getting his goals, he's getting his assists, he's looking like KDB of, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, but let's see how it goes in the Serie A and the Champions League and whatnot. But for international break, by all means, Kevin De Bruyne, you have made our list. Now, in 9th, someone who's done, you could say, the complete opposite, right? It's been a fantastic start to the season for him, unlike KDB's. Pape Sarr of Tottenham. He's been cooking like crazy. Even you could go back to the Super Cup against PSG. All the way up to now, 2 games with Senegal. The first game, he scored the second goal, I guess the clincher, if you will, v Sudan. Again, yeah, nothing too crazy there, but it was the second game. Senegal v Congo, for those who are unaware, that was like the game of the... Like, it was the biggest deciding game, if you will. Nigeria, South Africa as well, but Senegal-Congo was one that everyone had their eyes locked into. I certainly did. And Pape Sarr pulls up 2-0 down. Obviously, he didn't start the game, so, like, I'm not going to say he had, like, a masterclass throughout or whatever, but for someone in his position to come and score the winning goal in the last minute to virtually secure Senegal's place in the World Cup, I think that deserves a big respect. And again, he's bagged in the previous game as well, so he's slightly getting the goal scoring bag there, so fair play to him. In 8th place, we have his North London rival, if you will, Martin Ødegaard, with the buzz cut like he's in Prison Break or whatever. We've been saying for a while now, his last season, not good enough by his own very high standards. Again, we can say opponent tax here, but he does seem to be somewhat back to his best and his sharpest, where again, another player that, of course, you know who we're going to speak about for Norway, but we'll go for Ødegaard in 8th place, because he was bagging goals, he was assisting, he was doing everything. Even, to be fair, even their previous game that wasn't against Moldova, where they won 1-0, he slightly got like the all-important pre-assist. I know you say pre-assist, oh, shut up, like what does that mean? But if you watch the goal, it's basically he kind of makes the entire goal with the scoop pass, and then Haaland flicks it, and then, you know, they end up scoring the goal. So I guess we'll see if Ødegaard will show this same kind of level in big games or whatever. Like, I don't know, we'll see. But for now, again, international break team of the week or top 10, he is there. In 7th, we have someone from Spain. This is a man who we are all familiar with. We're going to see him in loads of team of the weeks and whatever this season. It is Pedri. Look, we've already known this guy's a magician. This guy finds passes that you can't even believe it when you're watching on TV. His touch is clean. Everything is, he's consistent. But the latest iOS 17 update, why is Pedri suddenly bagging goals? Obviously, people talk about, like, will he ever reach the Xavi and Iniesta levels and whatnot. I tell you what, if he starts putting up like a nice 10, 15 goals a season somehow, hey. And he does it for, again, let's be also fair, he's got to do this for like another decade as well. If he can do that and survive the injuries and whatever, then woo-hoo-hoo, Pedri is a serious baller. Obviously showed it against Turkey, where he was, you know, dictating play and whatnot. I mean, they won both their games, so yeah, fair play to Pedri. Big respect. Also big respect, we are going to Africa again. In 6th, we have Bouanga of Gabon. Gabon top of their, not AFCON group, their African World Cup quality. You get what I'm saying anyway. He's top of their group. Obviously taking the reins from Aubameyang. He scored a hat-trick. The only reason why, again, I've not put him higher is because level of opposition of that hat-trick. he's doing it against Seychelles. And a big respect to Seychelles, my favorite country I've ever been to, the best beaches that I've ever witnessed with my own 2 eyes and crystal clear waters. But ask me to name, you know, one player, past or present, from Seychelles. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm cooked. So, you know, I can't really say anything there. But listen, he got the hat-trick in a 4-0 win. Gabon are flying. If they get to a World Cup, which is seeming like a high possibility, then, wow, fair play. That would be really, really impressive from them. We go to our top 5. Whoa, what was that? Oh, that's your notification. It means you haven't subscribed yet. It means you haven't liked the video yet, rather. So make sure to give yourself 5 seconds to go down and press a little like on the video. And if you're on mobile, boost the video or hype the video. I'm going to repeat. I don't know what that means. But people keep telling me that on mobile, you can hype the videos so that they spread further and whatnot. So keep doing that, because big love to you lot for 39,000. I was going to say 39,000K. That would be crazy. 39K. We're on the road to 40K, hopefully by next week. And then we start looking for that 100K up there. So make sure you're part of it. Anyway, as I was saying, in 5th place, we have Moise Kean of Italy, of course. He scored twice to griddy on his opponents and silence his opponents, if you will. And I think, especially as an honest Moldova fan, I was really happy when I saw Italy win that game in the end. And Moise Kean was a big part of it. It was one of the goals where he literally just didn't really seem like there was a shot on, and he just bangs it from outside the box. I was like, blimey, fair enough. I didn't know you had it in you, dog. But again, you know, big respect to Moise Kean. To be fair to Italy, though, again, they scored 5 goals in both their games. So you could also shout, like, Retegui and these guys. There were men that were pulling up with, like, 3 assists in a game and whatnot. So, you know, fair play to, I guess, the Italy forwards. Because defensively, yeah, I'm seeing Bastoni scoring own goals. I'm seeing midfielders scoring own goals. Donnarumma's punching it in his own net. But the forwards, they did their job. So fair play to them. Into 4th place, just missing out on our podium, it is Cristiano Ronaldo. How is this brother still going? He's 40 years old. I'm going to be honest with you lot. I wasn't making YouTube videos like a year and a half ago or whatever, so I didn't really say anything. But on TikTok, I've been quite vocal. In that most recent Euros, yeah, when I saw Ronaldo taking that free kick from, like, it was like nearly the throw-in line. I remember I was in Germany for it. And I'm just thinking, this guy, he can't be serious, bro. Someone's got to let him know that, yo, big dog, big respect to you, bro. You know, 2nd best of all time, but it's time to pass over the reins. That was my honest thoughts, bro. I felt like you've done as much as you can for Portugal, right? That's it. He's not even scoring tap-ins now, guys. He's scoring bangers as well, bro. Like, you could argue his goal against Cucurella where he dunked on his head or whatever. You could say, like, that was a decent goal as well. But generally, I don't really know what to expect from Ronaldo anymore, but if he's going to keep on bagging goals, you can't really argue with it. Having someone like Ronaldo with his clutch gene and whatnot, it's like, yeah, fair enough, man. You know, do your thing, innit? Now we get into our 3rd place. Remember, I told you guys. Hashtag say no to Suárez. We got that guy out of here. He's been banned and he's been replaced by the Colombian Luis Suárez, who announced himself with 4 goals v Venezuela. Some of you may be wondering, why isn't my South American player here? Why isn't my guy there? Unfortunately, as I said, Brazil and Argentina are like the top 2, if you will. Both of them were kind of trolling in it. Like the first game, they both won 3-0, so you could, you know, give a shout out Estevao or Bruno G or something like that. And then again, Messi as well could have got quite close because of his first game, but in the second game they both lost 1-0 because they rested all their serious players, right? So that's why, if you're wondering, there aren't many Argentine or Brazilian players. But of course, I had to get Luis Suárez in for scoring 4 goals. Man did a shoving against Venezuela. So again, big respect to him. We get into our top 2. It might be getting dangerously close to a my bad, I'll be honest. In 2nd place, we have Mikel Merino. Turn that 6 upside down, it's a 9 now. Is this Arsenal striker? Is this Spain striker? After years of surviving Morata. You know, it's just, bro, for me, we go for the likes of, like, what? Butragueño. You go to Raul. Even Di Stefano had a spell with Spain. You go to your likes of Torres and David Villa. Is Mikel Merino the next one? Because the way this guy is finishing his chances, I've never seen a player that, like, all his attributes are just there, There's nothing like special. And then he finishes like that. It's beyond me. The first 2 goals, I'll be real, didn't shock me, innit? Like he scores them kind of goals. Albeit against Turkey, I thought it would be a much of a tighter game. I thought the Turkish fans would really, you know, be up for it, and it would be like an Arda Güler v Yamal show. But again, this guy, left foot, right foot, and then a banger from like 25 yards. The thing is with me, I cannot just like apologize for the sake of apologizing, innit? Like just in general, it's like, all right, this is someone that, as a midfielder, he's not really delivering the goods, if you will. So he's gone up front now and he's showing levels. But again, look, fair play in it. He even scored in the game before that as well against Bulgaria. So he's got a hat trick, and he got, I think, got a header actually from a corner. So Mikel Merino, fair play to you. But in first, Erling Haaland. Alright, man. We get it, bro. What a sad little life, Jane. You're playing full 90 minutes against my country just so you can go and get 5 goals, bro. Just so you can go and get 5 goals. You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember when Pele went and scored 5 goals with Fiorentina in 1965? For those of us who remember. Even, to be fair, he bagged like 5 goals against Juventus as well. He done it. Oh, actually, now that I think about it, Pele did it like 4 times. Haaland, this is like his 3rd time. Pele done it 4 times. But then there was also a game where Pele scored 8 in one match as well. If you guys want to go and research that one, go and feel free. But Haaland, look, the numbers are scary, man. And like I said, I mean, same for Ødegaard, right? Yeah, it's Moldova you're playing against, but at the same time, you can only play against what's in front of you. Not everyone is bagging 5 goals in Moldova. I'll tell you that for free. So, you know, you have to give credit where it's due. Is Haaland back? I guess we're going to find out in the Manchester derby. And that is a wonderful way to caveat and say that, obviously, boom, club football is back. We have the Manchester derby. So tomorrow I think will be Champions League predictions, and then we get back to like Saturday recap, Sunday recap, etc, 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 etc. So it should hopefully be a lovely bit of content. So as per usual, let me know your honourable mentions. I know there was some England guys there, you know, Madueke and Anderson in particular. I feel like we're really close to making it, but there were too many names, bro. At the end of the day, every single country in the whole world played, right? So it's inevitable that I'm going to miss out some players when there's like thousands of players playing and I can only pick 10. But again, let me know who you think should have been closest to getting in. Subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, follow on Twitch, on IG, on all the platforms. I've now put the link in the description so that you're able to find my socials a lot easier. That being said, have a great weekend. I'll see you, man, tomorrow. Bosh.